Well, hello everybody. Welcome to the Jets of Time new ladder race, fall 2021. We're in week 2. This is our second race. It's an async race to qualify for the final rounds, however it works. Today we're bringing you a match between Kyuketsuki and Asnyc. It's just a two-way race today, but should be fun to watch. Just me today on commentary, and we have Mian on tracking, so should be able to get started pretty quick here. Hope I do everything properly, because by myself today, except for tracking, of course, and see if I can nail this start. That's pretty good. Pretty good. So that wasn't great. I have 2 volumes on. So today we're playing boss randomizer, race flags. Just want to make sure we have both of our runners synced up here. Yeah, they are for the most part here. Their timers are synced up at least. So, without further ado, let's get to this. Paul D. Here. So that's interesting. We got Q, Kitsuki, Sunkeep. Grab that power tab. That's a opening move I just. And we have Asnyc going into the desert. This is a really good opening play. If you watch a streamer like Moon Blizzard or anyone who's practiced and followed his strategies, you're going to see even more chest pickups, even more encounter skipping. Not sure if Azure is going to go for that. See, that final chest in that level is behind Ret Knight, but you can actually accidentally trigger him if you go in to find it. I have good success doing that skip typically self, but I still won't do it in a race. Just because if you trigger Red Knight, it's just such a pain. But if you watch someone like Moon Blizzard, I mean, he'll just get, I think, just about every chest out of the desert without triggering more than one fight in time. It's pretty impressive. So we got Kyuketsuki doing his first check there. This is the first truly free check, maybe only truly free check that you get in the game. You talk to the carpenter and the carpenter's wife. He's gonna collect the moonstone there. That's interesting. It's not great. Not gonna give him any early any kind of early advancement here, but that is the one place you can go. The other one being Snail Stop, and Snail Stop is free technically, but also not, because it costs 9,900 gold, and that could be a lot to sink into something this early in the game. Personally, I like to find myself some mid-tonics, revives, shelters, ethers, stuff like that, even maybe a weapon or two, and by the end of all that spending, I'm typically not going to have 9,900 gold still laying around. But it is good to check Snail Stop. He probably did, and I didn't catch it, but it's good to just know what's there, because even if it's important, like if it's something like the Dreamstone or something that it's a key item, but you can't use it until later, well, just take a note of it. It's there, it's waiting for you, and then you can come back after you fight a bunch of stuff, and you know, should have enough gold at that point. So, but if it's something like the gate key, you might actually want to just buy it right away, even if you're sacrificing shopping gold. It's because it gives you that instant advancement access, gives you access to another time period, that being 65 million BC, and you know, we'll get a little more into that as we talk along here. Azurkel picking up a speed tab here behind Toma's grave. Great thing to do early on. Speed tabs are awesome to have. And Kuketsuki is, of course, doing this little hench Omnichrome battle that you can find in Medina Village. Going to give you your first, well, it gives you 4 levels and 1 tech per character if you do it first. And if it is literally the first encounter you get into, you can predict the RNG. And the second hit will always be a critical on that one. So as long as you have like a decent weapon, even if you don't, you know, you only need to deal about 200 damage to that Omnichrome. And that's really the only threat in that fight. If you take too long to kill him, he'll kill you first. Here we have Azurkel going into that same fight. Yep, just select plead on the menu. And, you know, this is the way I like to start my seas. Not everybody does this. There are other options, such as like Guardia Forest, to just kind of to boost yourself just enough to start Cathedral without, you know, having to struggle. Having said that, I've also seen players go straight into Cathedral without leveling up first. Don't recommend it myself. Seen it work. Because those 4 Nega heads can give you quite a bit of, I forget the exact amount of experience, but it's enough to get you started. Uketsuki is doing a little shop around the fair. Good thing to do as well early on. I don't do this as a staple. Personally, I like to check more other shops, which he did do. Because if you can find, say, something like a revive and a shelter at other shops, go there, you know, you can avoid the fair altogether. However, if you don't find revives and shelters, which are 2 very, very critical items for any runner, they are actually guaranteed at Melchior at Lean Square. So. And you can see now, like, since you did that fair check, Azure didn't. Azure's just into the Cathedral a little quicker. But Q's also going to the Guardia Forest just to pick up a tab or 2. I don't know if he... probably going to just head straight to Cathedral after this, so they're not too far apart. Yeah, as Azure is finishing off that fight, Q is starting it. They both got that Moonstone, and oh, we have Luca. Now, Luca, Marl, Frog, pretty good team. Lots of output damage, or damage output, I should say. But a little slow, a little bit on the slow side. Marl and Luca start with 8 speed each, and well, unless you boost that 8 speed, it can be a real struggle, especially towards the end with some of the final bosses. I see Azure is going for a little, I wouldn't call it a strategy necessarily, it's something we all do now. All you have to get is that Naga bromide out of that drawer you see, and you can turn it into a man at Dorino Village and see the old man there. In vanilla, I think it just gives you like one magic tab or something like that, but in Jets, it's been tweaked, so he will give you one of each. He'll get a speed tab, magic tab, and power tab, and you know, you get to get in that one little fight as well. Can help a little bit. I don't think I see people skip that. I don't think it's worth a time save when you can go and get a speed tab, and especially with a team like this, if they stick with this team, I like this team. They can do a lot. Marl has haste. You know, Frog and Luca have Frog Flare. I mean, it's so powerful for some of those final bosses, but speed could be an issue, so. Probably the most annoying fight in Cathedral. Just takes a little bit of time, and if you don't have an AoE magic spell, like if Marl or Luca had, you know, Ice 2 or Fire 2, you just clear it in one click. Always nice to do, but it's not that threatening either. Just eats up time, which I hate personally. And not sure what Azur's thinking. We had to adjust something IRL. I don't know. You don't want to use provoke in that situation, I don't think. So Q's not too far behind here. One thing that could make a difference here is if Q, after fighting this left side of the cathedral, getting this bromide, if he's going to actually check out the right side of the cathedral, I noticed Azurkale did not enter, but it does have 4 chests you can pick up, and one fight, at least one fight, so get a bit of experience, a little bit of gear, but of course it takes a couple minutes. I skip it often myself unless I really am like lacking something. If I feel like I'm lacking, I want to take a gamble on a couple of chest pickups, you know. It was pretty nice though. Silver earring dropped already in Cathedral, and these chests are not supposed to be great or anything, but that's really lucky. So Azurkale's coming up to the Yakra fight here. Looks like it's Yakra. Now, in a random system, that could happen. Could be anything. It happens to be Yakra. I would expect him to have a little bit of an HP boost, just based on some of the formulas that they use to, you know, handle this boss randomizer. But so far, no big surprises here. There's really not many tips to give about how to fight Yakra. In a vanilla speedrun, there's a couple of strategies to use, but like, you know, in Jets, you're gonna have so many HP at this point that he's really not gonna threaten you too badly. In a vanilla speedrun, he is still a little threatening, so you want to actually take care of him as quickly as possible, and you're underleveled, so you know, one thing you can do is attack him only if he's really close to you, and then he can't counterattack you. But in Jets of Time, honestly, you can just whack and whack and whack away at him. It looks like Azur is doing a bit of healing there, because it is taking a little bit of time. And he probably does expect that his hit points are just going to be slightly boosted. But of course, the fight's no problem. I mean, it's just Yakra. So now he's going to head back to the castle. Didn't see if he activated the bridge yet. Most of us have that built into our muscle memory now, so the Xenon bridge. You got to go talk to the Knight Captain before you can trigger the Zombor sequence. He probably already did that. I didn't see him do it, but he probably did. And now he's going to go pick up his 4th character here. So obviously this is where you would normally collect Marl in the vanilla, but as you can see, we already have Marl. So, oh, it's Robo. Hello, Robo. Robo's also a very slow character. Speed is probably going to be an issue here. However, Robo does unlock that desert quest, so you need him in order to get the key item from Fiona's shrine after you beat Ret Knight. You can always fight Ret Knight and get that part of it out of the way, but you need Robo to complete the quest and to get the key item, so see how that plays out. Marl's another character like that, where you need her to complete the Prism Shard quest. You need to take her into the castle to, interrupt the trial of the king and all of that. So actually having Marl and Robo is good, because he's going to have just more options sort of available to him. And we get to see what we're going to get from the bridge quest here. The bent sword. Not my favorite item to find here, but since he saved right before that, he would be able to reset, and then if he didn't like that item, just continue on playing. Looks like he's going to take it, though. Not a bad idea, actually. I mean, he does have Frog, which is another character that you need if you want to go a certain route. If you want to reforge the Mass Immune and go into Magus's castle, you need Frog for that. So far, all of the characters we have are going to take care of those extra requirements for any other key items. And sometimes you'll be playing a seed and you'll get kind of stuck and you don't have Marl or whatever, but it's like you didn't pick her up from somewhere either, or she's locked in the future, or she's locked in prehistory, and you have to go out of your way to get a character in order to complete these quests. They're starting with these characters off the bat. Pretty nice. Nice, so we got Azur on the bridge here, and we got Kiyu at Yakra. Who is Yakra? This is a boss rando. I guarantee you this is a boss rando. Sometimes in a random system, you will get a repeat of the same thing. It's part of randomness. Fun trick on the bridge, just hit Ozzy. I'm sure everyone knows that by now, but might as well mention it. If you hit Ozzy 3 times in a row, the fight ends. You don't have to fight his skellies. And what do we have here now? So here's our first actual boss, Lavospawn. Okay, it's Lavospawn. I didn't recognize those sprites at first, but okay, this is a little bit frightening. I'm going to pretend like I didn't play the seed and lose I'm just going to pretend that I have no idea what's going to happen. Well, I actually don't know what's going to happen with these racers, but I can tell you that you do not want to see Lavo spawn here. Probably going to have about 2,000... Oh, it could have 1,200 to 1,500 HP maybe on that head. But you gotta attack the head. And they're just not doing a ton of damage right now. You can't attack both or it'll counterattack. I think Luca has Flare now, but he can't use it. This is fun. Yeah, I don't know if I've had a mutant here. That doesn't sound good. Having a mutant, oh my goodness. I'm a little inexperienced at this version of Jets. I just haven't played it much. So... But I do know it can absolutely punish you. Send you back. Ooh, yeah, that... If you get hit with obstacle early and you don't have status protection, that could be devastating. Azure is just... Oh! Got a little absorb going on. Still just hacking away at the head. Of course, Luca is down. Q's taking a sleep at the end. It's not a bad choice. Could slow you down a bit. I mean, to be completely honest, but there, like, we'll have seeds where, say you have, you know, all chests are tabs or random vendor prices. Those are options you can set when you make a seed. And you might actually have a seed where you don't even have shelters, or they're very expensive, like 40,000 gold each. And then you really want to learn where all the inns are and everything. So, he's picking up his speed tab, magic tab, power tab combo set. Activating the bridge. Said you gotta talk to that captain first. And then he's gonna take on what he doesn't realize yet is Lavo spawn. Right, only has Zombor's HP. It's not... I could see it being really devastating if you, like, you had a Berserker on or something. You left a Berserker on. That would be bad. That comment freaked me out for a second. I was like, can you see your face on the stream? No. Okay. Did I screw up somehow? Oh yeah, looks like Azure did... I was looking at Q's screen when Azure fell to Lavo spawn, but looks like he's going right back in. He wants that sword piece. And now, you know, literally because Azure died, Q is like right behind him now. He was a couple minutes behind for a while there. But we're going to see what Q does. Does he want to keep the bent sword for now? Or is he going to reset? Like he's going for it. I mean, because again, the bent sword is something you could come back to later. You know, if you find the other part of the bent hilt, you know, if you find that part, and you know you need it, you know, you can always go back to the bridge, and it's going to take way less time to like go through these fights and everything. But you know, at the same time, it is experience and there are drops. So, you know, sometimes it makes sense to, even if you're getting an item that's not great from the chef, you might still just do the bridge. Just because you can level up a bit, get a couple of items. Only getting a dark saber here, that's not great. You could sell it. But I've seen insane gear drop here too. Like, it's random, so you could get like a pair of prism specs, you know. Not promising anything to any of you, but I've seen it happen. Or even, you know, I've seen Mega Elixirs drop here more than once. Even if you get like a couple full tonics or something, it can boost your chances in the next boss fight. Never really a bad idea to take the bridge. As long as you're not getting something like, I don't know, Robo's Ribbon and you don't have Robo, and you're not going to use Robo, then you might skip the bridge altogether. We're getting pretty close up. It's getting a little tight now. Now, their Levo spawn fight performances are really going to matter here. I didn't happen to catch whether any of these players... Oh, Azure takes another reset. Goodness gracious, he's skipping. Yeah, he's done. You know, I would be too. That's just like... That's a horrible encounter to face there. But we'll have to see, like... You know, sometimes I get suspicious in a seed where I get a part of the sword and a frog start. I get suspicious that maybe I might need those things, and I don't want to need them, but we'll see what happens here. Yeah, it looks like he's got Robo in the party. I didn't see what he put on Robo's arm. Now, if he has a good, strong Robo arm here, he could do enough damage to, you know, take down this Lavo spawn without dying. He also has a good HP boost with Robo. He's got a lot of extra HP there. He's going to be able to survive. Even if he has to solo Lavo spawn with Robo, he might be able to pull that off. Ooh, yeah, nice. Luca's got some absorb. Oh yeah, look at that. He did upgrade his arm, I can tell, just by the damage he's doing. Oh, thank you so much, Mashmello, for the sub. Debts of Time appreciates you. We will use your support to craft an even better community. Or whatever, we'll buy Raster Cecil a good internet and a new PC or something. We'll do something with them. Yeah, so Azur's in Hekran. That's a pretty good choice. Got some magic. It's gonna help him get through these fights, but is he taking them? Might not need to. You don't need tech in here. Probably not gonna take the fights. And since it's boss randomizer, we don't know if having Flare is even gonna help with the boss. It would be great against Hekran, but it's probably not gonna be Hekran. Well, if you're like me, you'll get a $100 check and put it in your gas tank. Forget about it. Sorry, streamers. I mean, sorry, viewers. I didn't buy a webcam. But I do have a PC upgrade in my future, so it's gonna be good. Gotta give it to Kiwi, sticking in this fight. Sticking in here. I think he's gonna do it. Delta Force. Nice. Q has slayed Lavospawn. Ooh, he gets a whopping 50 tech points. Gets some tech going on. He's got Robo in his party, so he can keep learning tech on Robo unlimited, despite not visiting Specchio, of course. So that's a pretty good choice. Except for the slowness, it's a good choice. And it looks like, yeah, he's going to take another sleep at Chrono's house. Did he pet the kitty? I didn't see. We might need a validation cat pet here. Oh, the poor kitty. Looks like we got Golem up in the Hecaran Cave. That's not fun. That's not very fun. Should be manageable. He's going to have a, relatively low amount of HP, and with that flare, should be able to, yeah, this is boss randomizer for you. It's tough. I've had a tough time myself playing it, and you just don't know what's coming at you. Next, here, it's Golem. You gonna have fun with that. That's true. That's true. As long as you can get Golem onto some kind of a cycle where he's only hitting you with Fire and Ice 1, because of course with Golem, Fire and Ice will cause him to counterattack only with a single target spell at first. If you don't cycle him, if you don't keep him cycling through his counterattacks, he will eventually hit you with an AoE like we just saw on Azur's screen. But if you can, keep him cycling, he becomes manageable. Physical, Shadow, and Lightning are scary because they can do the most damage with his counterattack, but another thing you can do is just cast Stop, and he won't do anything at all. Yeah, I think actually in my seed, it used Hypno Wave at least once here. Maybe it was just because I could. I don't know if it helped me. Myself, I had a pretty good seed here. But we can talk more about that later. Me and Cecil are not doing well in ladder so far. Even though you made the game harder, it's like people are still getting sub 2s. But not me. But that's okay. I'm addicted to Diablo 2 right now, and I'm getting rich, boys and girls. Well, here we go. Dalton has burped. He programmed that into his golem. I don't know why. Would you program something you made to burp? Like if your PC got really hot, there'd be like a burp vent. It would like, oh, it's 5 degrees hotter than it should be right now. Release the burp, and it goes blah. And then it cools your PC down. That'd be pretty cool. What are we gonna get here? Grand Leon. Okay. Well, it's not. Yeah, I don't want to go do that quest, personally. I don't want to go do the Northern Ruins, although it does unlock that. It's not going to lead to progress. If you do, will lead to a frog upgrade. But just having the Grand Leon is probably going to keep Frog in this party, because that's his most powerful weapon. I believe it's even more powerful than Brave Sword, even without the upgrade. Oh, it doesn't upgrade the sword anymore. Right, it just gives Frog power and speed. So it is his most powerful sword. I would definitely want to keep Frog in the party right now. If I was Azure. And soon Q, as long as he gets through this golem fight without too much trouble, I expect he's going to slap that Grand Leon on Frog as well. Azrael thinks he knows how this ends. I'm skeptical. Q realizing his foe is Golem. Personally, I thought I'd enjoy Boss Randomizer more than I am. I do enjoy a challenge, but it's become a bit of a headache. I just have to get better with practice, that's all. Because I'm sure there's things you can do to avoid such headaches. Ooh, that's rough. See, if you leave his physical going for too long without cycling him, ooh, and we see a reset on Q's screen. Yeah, if you leave him on physical, he won't hit you with an AoE. But yeah, first he hits you with that Iron Ball, halves your HP, then he hits you with that whatever point flare looking thing, whatever it's called, and it's just a terrible amount of physical damage. It'll kill you, you know, even if you're level 25 or whatever. Even if you're level 30, depending on your character and gear. Good to see him like jumping right back into the fight though. He wasn't even really dying that bad at the time he jumped. At the time he reset, it means he's gonna adjust his strategy here, I think. And he knows he's gonna have more success. Yeah, he's using heal more. Unfortunately for him, unfortunately for Caillou, Azur is a good halfway up Denadoro now. So we're going to see what the item drop up here is soon, and what the boss is, of course, as well. Picks up a Pearl Edge. Normally that would be a great drop early game for Frog, but we already have the Grand Leon. Azur skipping that gauntlet. That's a pretty easy skip to do, and the gauntlet really sucks to accidentally trigger. You don't have to run up super far, only a few frames. Or a few pixels. What are these confounded devices use? Alright, Q's through Golem. That's great. He's going to pick up his Grand Leon, and again, probably going to hold on to Frog. You taking another snooze at home? You know, can't blame him. The comfiest bed in this entire game. But I personally would pet my cat every time I went home. I don't know, that's just me. Maybe he's not a cat person. I don't know. I don't want to indict him though. I mean, I'm actually not a cat person anymore myself. I have a dog. And I now believe dogs are better than cats. Come at me, you know? Whatever. Azur heading into the Mass Immune fight. Which of course will be Mass Immune 1 and 2, like for the first part of it, but then after that we're going to see a randomization. It's just that you can make a dog do a job. It's like they work for you. It's awesome. Why not both? Yeah, it's a good point. And I've been thinking about that. I haven't had a cat in a long time. And I think if I got a kitten, it would be awesome for my dog too. He'd probably love the kitten. So for this fight, Mazza and Mune, you just have to hit one of them for about, I think, 1,000 HP to just move on to the next stage of the fight. And while this part, again, isn't random, we will see what he's up against. There we go, they're down. He's not far behind now. Climbing the mountain. This only takes a couple minutes, so. Depends how much he runs from, how many encounter skips he gets, and how many chests he chooses to pick up. I turned my dog into a beta dog on purpose. So he's really gentle. Some people, you know, my dog's totally the alpha of my house. I'm like, I would never allow that to happen. Wow, picking up, yeah, that Pearl Edge, you know, it's exciting to see early game, but we already have that Grand Leon. So. Oh, we have Slash, Super Slash. Now, this could be a kind of a parody fight, like with the original Super Slash, just based on the HP he comes with. He's not going to be that different from fighting a normal Super Slash, I don't think. But I could be wrong. Yeah, mats are good. They're much better than cement. Or gravel. Or dirt. Actually, dirt's slightly better than gravel. You know, to sleep on. Not that I have experience. Look, Azur's having not too much trouble here. It's gonna take a bit of time. He's gonna use haste on his characters. Like, that's a great idea. It's one of the only things that you would use Marl in your party for, typically. Unless she is paired with Luca, that's awesome. He's gonna, you know, get Antipode here at some point, it looks like. If he sticks with this team, but otherwise, if you have Marl in your team and no Luca, it's like, you're only doing haste, pretty much. Street dogs they can be really sweet just because they're already betas, kind of. They're like alone, and it's the saddest thing in the world. Jesus, I'm gonna make myself cry. Get back to the fight. More haste on the Super Slash fight. Hugh is, I believe he's right before Massa and Mune, doing some menuing here. Of course, he's just right behind Azure. Dogs love sleep, let me tell you. Like sleeping and explosive energy, but nothing really in between that much. Alright, we could have a real battle here. Like Luca's down. Only a couple revives left. On Azur's screen. Now he could recover here, get rid of Super Slash. That would be awesome. Getting a little more difficult. Once you get him down past half HP, I believe he does start giving you the business just a little bit more. You gotta be careful. I think he's trying Hypno Wave on him. Interesting. Interesting. He does... Wow. Now, I did not know that you can put Super Slash to sleep with Hypno Wave. That's a great little strategy. Now he has time to heal up. Okay, that's awesome. He was going full tilt boogies, got the flare going. Yeah, little leap slash. You know, one or two more flares here. Even one flare and one leap slash, I would think. Yeah, Azur's cleaned it up. Cleaned up the fight. Got an earring. We're gonna see what the key item is here now after the fight here. You're gonna walk up and you're gonna get the key item. Oh, Ruby Knife, that is fantastic. Now, I believe I did see a Dreamstone up at the snail stop. However, we still don't have access to any other time period, and we've done. That's right, we have desert because we got Robo at the castle. So okay. So we have to do desert. It's like he used... Oh, he's doing a really good job here. Oh, except Luca's down now. It's like he's doing about the same job that Azur did. You know, I would think too, with a couple of flares, oh boy, he should be going down, but he's got some kind of HP boost on him. Gonna be higher than... Gonna be higher than what Masamune actually normally has. I think. I don't know for sure, but that's okay. Get that other flare off. Now this should do it. And he may have saved just a little bit of time here. I think he may have done those fights just a little bit faster. There we go. Super Slash is down. And he's gonna get that Ruby Knife, and he hopefully won't take too long to realize I need to do desert. There's after this there is actually nothing else to do. The logic does not support any other option right now. That's the only thing you can do. So Azur's about to fight Red Knight. He's got Robo in his party. I didn't look closely at the final times here. I just picked the people who gave me a Twitch VOD. That's the only reason I'm restreaming these fine fellows here, because we had about 4 or 5 other people who I'm gracious, they posted their VOD to YouTube. I just don't know how to restream that yet. Didn't have time to learn how to do that yet. But we will be able to have maybe a four-way async restream next Sunday at the same time. Should be easy enough to figure out by then. Or just give me Twitch VODs. It's easier that way. Multiple platforms equals multiple applications of multiple tools. Keep it simple. Keep it safe. Okay, we got a queue going at a desert now. We got Azur on Red Knight. It feels like it's tightening up more and more, but it only feels that way. Oh, you can use Streamlink for YouTube? Okay. Well, I didn't even try that. I just looked at that command line download YouTube link thing that we saw there. If I can use Streamlink on YouTube videos, then whatever, we're fine. Oh, yeah, see, this is a tough fight with Red Knight right now because you don't have ice. He doesn't have ice. Ice is going to lower the defense of this Red Knight. Both parts. I don't think it works on the center, but if you don't lower that defense first, you're going to have a hard time hitting it. He's actually getting pretty lucky here. He's got haste on too. Now that might make up for it. See, he's going to have a lot of misses, but if he has a lot of turns, might not be a super big deal. And one more leap slash in the tank. Oh, no, he's got an earring on. Oh, that's awesome, Dad. Well, he's going to have no problem with this. Now, a nice thing to do after you get the top and bottom off of Ret Knight is to be able to kill the core. It's not easy to do, but I love seeing it because it gives you... See, yeah, that's what I expected more of. Frog bumping off the ceiling with his leap slash because it's very hard to hit things. Oh, he got a critical in, though. Oh, my goodness. Now kill the core, get a big XP boost. What happens? As we have Q actually starting his Red Knight. Oh, he got the core. Gets full XP, full tech points, all the gear. Got a red mail. And it's a procky stream when you hear that sound. Nice. Q's getting lucky too. Not so much with the Robo Tackle. So it really depends on luck here. If you don't have Ice 2, if you cast Ice 2, say, or Water 2 on Red Knight before you fight him, you're pretty much going to hit him every time you try. But if you don't do that, he has high defense, and he's going to be able to evade a lot of your attacks. But both of our runners today have really good luck, it seems, so far. So now you see, as we're going into Fiona Shrine, you need Robo for the previous thing to talk to Fiona herself. And to make sure that you leave Robo in that field. He's tilling the soil, whatever he does, I don't know. Turns it into a forest because of tilling. So, we're going to see what we get here. Now, this has to either be like a gate key, a pendant, something that takes us to another time period, because we're going to need more. It could be a sword piece, too. Now, anything that gives us progress should be expected here, because it can't just be something random. A Thomas Pop. Okay. We get a fetch. Okay, go fetch. That's okay, I guess. I don't know. You're in this... Yeah, you can easily start the quest here. It takes 2 seconds. But oh my goodness. Oh, Q had a good fight. Okay, Q's fight's over. I feel like Q's catching up a little bit, but again, it's just a feeling. Not actually comparing times yet. I thought the seed was fine, but I'm bad. Yeah, there we go. Turn Robo into farm equipment because he has a plow pre-installed. They thought of everything, those future folk. You know, it's not often I get Thomas Pop, but when I do, I like to milk it. In terms of speed, not gear. Yeah, personally, I would expect to see something like a pendant here. Like, pendant's going to open more possibilities than a gate key will. Because, like, in the future, you have 3 checks, and in prehistoric times, you have 1 check. You know, plus 1 character. So, like, pendant is just logically more so likely to happen just because it's right now the seed is so restrictive, and then at some point it should open right up. And I say that having played the seed, but it really should do that. So here Q's gonna find out he's got a Thomas Pop too. Like, oh my god, I can't believe it. Because, like, of course you believe that you're gonna get a gate key or a pendant there. Especially a gate key would be really nice right now, because that would mean an instant go mode for our runners. They already have the Ruby Knife, and if they go to Snail Stop, they will have the Dreamstone as well. Azur's doing a fantastic job with his skips, just running through. Picked up a couple of chests. You know, I may not have done that myself, but it's always free. Anything that's free. Oh, including tabs. And I actually didn't see what the power tabs were giving us. I would load up Frog maybe right now. Like with power tabs, he's got the Grand Leon, he's got Leap Slash. You don't have magic yet. That could give you a potential, you know, 750 or something, 800 damage per Leap Slash. Even more, oh my goodness. Yeah. It's nice when you hit 1,000, and then it's even nicer when you hit 1,500. Well, no one, so Robo's magic has been increasing, but on Azur's screen we don't have Robo. So he only still, for all 3 characters, only has his first 3 techs. We don't even have like Antipode or anything. Oh, Nizbel. Hello. Oh, this is going to be really interesting to see how... So I wonder how much tech Q has unlocked here. Is because if Q has shock or something like that, like if he has shock, he'll be able to stun. Oh, it's Nizbel 2. Oh, it's Nizbel 2. I thought it was Nizbel 1. That's okay. I mean, as long as you have, you know, as long as you have haste and flare, like this shouldn't be a problem. Right, the only thing I'm wondering is I didn't see Robo's tech sheet here. I don't know if he's going to show it to us, but it's quite possible that if he's been leveling up Robo for a while, he's had Robo in his party for a while. He got 50 tech points off the bridge for Robo. So Robo's tech might be good, probably beyond 3 tech. I think it's at 4 tech. Oh, bye-bye, kitty. You don't see him again until beat the game. Azur's doing the right thing, I think. Frog Squash adds a bit of damage, no matter what your HP is. So if you, or sorry, Frog Flare. So Frog Squash will add damage to Frog Flare, no matter what your HP is. So if you're going to use Flare and you can sacrifice Frog's turn, I would say always do a Frog Flare, just because it's always going to boost the damage a little bit. And if his HP is low, it's going to boost it that much more. A really good tech. He's dishing the damage out here. He's running out of MP pretty quick, but you know, I don't think we're going to see a... Ooh. I would use a mid-E3 here, yeah. Yeah, I would too, yeah. Okay, let's go. Q's going for the same kind of pickups. He's going for the power tab. He's not going to save time here by picking up every extra little thing, kind of, you know? In a race, it can be a good idea to, if you can afford it, skip those things. Skip spending 3 seconds here, 5 seconds there. It will get you into the lead sometimes. Unless you're playing against someone like, you know, Chakasura. That guy is a beast. Myself, though, no longer a beast forever. But I will stick with the ladder, I think. I'm going to stick to ladder. A bent hilt. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. This is what the seed is. Oh my god. So, I said that the next item had to give us progression. I'm not that surprised that we have to go through Mega's Castle now. But I am disappointed. Oh, let's get a look at Robo's tech, I hope. Nope, he's using Robo for items. Okay. I just want to see what Q's Robo has learned at this point. Oh, Azur skipped the bridge. Oh my goodness, he has to go back. That's right. It's not the worst thing in the world. Like I said, it can be faster to come here later. But it's not that much faster if you die. You die to the boss and then you come back, it's not faster. But if you skip the boss, if you skip the whole thing and then come back later, that is fast. So, I am looking at Q about to beat Nizbel 2. Azur is stuck on the bridge now. He's in all these cutscenes. It's going to take several minutes. Q's already going to have go mode. Q's already going to have go mode. Oh my goodness. This could be where Q pulls ahead. Oh my god. Oh my god. For sure, he's gonna have better damage. Like, yeah, he's got Grand Leon. Friendly on and leap slash, that should make short work of the level spot. But Q's, he's through Nisbel too now. He's about to pick up his sword piece. He's going to have go mode right away. Ooh, as you're pulling off that bridge menu glitch, that's a tough one to pull off. But it can be very useful. Depending on your team, your gear, whatever you want to adjust right before the Zombor fight, quote-unquote Zombor fight, you do have a chance for a menu glitch right after that second Aussie fight. So as soon as your team regroups, you kind of hold X. Tough. It's a tough one. Right, so Q is going to forge the sword first, and you need to do that for a couple of reasons. One of them, yeah, to get into the magic cave, but two, to unlock that 5th character for them. So I wonder if he's going to do that. I wonder if he's going to go into Frog's Burrow and see who's there. That's just going to add a whole new dynamic to that. Could be really interesting. You keeps going for those comfy at-home bed sleeps. Can't blame him. And now he's totally in the lead. Oh, this is incredible. This is a weird seed where we're fighting the bridge over a sword piece counts. Oh my goodness. Here we go. Best cutscene in the game. So at this point, we do have Q in a lead, in the lead, at least between these two racers. And I'm a little shocked. I forgot that Azur didn't do the bridge. I forgot that he skipped that. And wow, look at how much of a difference that makes. Yeah, I can. On my personal computer, I can see Q's face. And he doesn't look that pleased. But he looks focused, I can tell you that. Very focused. I was informed ahead of the stream that Azur, during Magus Castle at some point, did take a quick bio. I'm going to actually keep their timers synced. So that means pausing Q for as long as it took Azur to bio. I'm just going to throw that out there a little early in case you wonder what's happening. It'll be some point in Magus. I don't know when. Yeah, you know, honestly... Yeah, and with no Specio, you're right. They don't have magic unlocked. Oh, And, okay, they do have Robo, like, he doesn't require magic, but neither of them went to Frogsboro to get the 5th character. I can tell you right now who it was. It was Ayla. It's such a good character to have right now. Oh, God. They both skipped Ayla, but I played the seed, so I can tell you. Ayla was at Frogsboro. Ayla would pair so nicely right now with Froggen and Luca because he can learn triple kick, and Frog has leap slash, and Luca has fire too. And they're both going to struggle a little bit compared to me, although I forfeited. This is a fun thing to watch right now. You know, normally if one of our racers was in Magus Castle, I would switch to their audio, but they're both in Magus Castle, so I'm going to leave the audio on Magus Castle. Doll trigger pendant. Oh my goodness. Did you post that seed in seeds? Well, I want that seed. I gotta get a world record to, you know, be the man. Azure Blue, it looks like he just blasted through those fights. Expect you to do the same. This might not be that bad of a Magus Castle. Let's take a bit of time to get through here, but there are skips. There are places you can run away. There's some strategy involved in doing it fast, including the Aussie floor, hole, room, things like that. So, oh no, so I'm sorry, Azure. That's the first fight you run into. I thought that was after the bosses. My mistake. Do the bosses after that fight. Then you hit the portal, which takes you to the next room. Yeah, having Nizbel here is not the worst thing in the world, probably, for them. They do have Flare, and, you know, with just Flare alone, you should be able to take care of this. Even if it means, like, MP management. I would love to see Robo using... No, he doesn't have Shock. Oh, he's checking for Area Bomb. Oh! It works. Now, I wasn't watching Azure's screen. I'm not sure if he took this fight on purpose, but, you know, any fight in here will give you just a chunk of XP. And tech points. He might be trying to... Yeah, he's trying to level up Robo's tech. Not a bad choice. But Q's still in the lead here. Personally, I think I like to do the flea side first. Just because you get a save point. after fighting Slash, but we'll see how this goes. We'll see who shows up here. This one juggler, you can hit it with like 1 HP damage, it'll die. But it does steal the MP from the person who killed it. Won't matter much there, because Luke only had 2 MP. But let's see who is here. And it could mean serious reheat. Golem boss! Okay. Okay, finding Golem boss in Boss Rando is like finding a 3080 RTX under your Christmas tree on Christmas Day, because he actually doesn't do anything. You does not need to fight him. Yeah, he'll actually just sit there and do nothing the entire time. I don't even... Can you kill him faster than it takes to wait? Is that how this works? Because I don't think he attacks you at all, ever. So maybe... Oh, okay, I see. You just... Yeah, kill him fast if you can. But if you can't kill him, then just wait. And he just runs away. But either way, it's free. That's okay, though. Again, I've been looking for Robo's tech list. Saw it on Azur's screen. Q might have Uzi Punch by now. I don't think Shock's gonna matter anymore. That's what I really wanted to see, but I don't think it's gonna matter. Yeah, this... You have to just run away from these encounters. You can't walk around them. But you are able to run away. As they're still taking care of Nizbel over there. I think Kyu is pulled out a little further ahead. I did see Azur take maybe a fight or two that, you know, Kyu didn't. That could give Kyu just a bigger lead. See how this goes. It could depend a lot too on the Magus fight itself, because we've already seen resets on bosses for both of these racers, and I wouldn't be surprised if Magus caused them to reset. Because Magus is one tough cookie, but, you know, at the same time, he's got some... You can trick him. You know, high physical damage for one is a good way to kill him fast. At least get him to a second phase where he's not attacking you as much. And, you know, another nice trick is to just have black armor, or, you know, black mail. What is it? Black vest, black mail. Then you'll absorb his... Oh, but this is Randomizer, though. So, we actually don't know who Magus is going to be. How could that have slipped my mind? Okay. Well, I'm going to shut my mouth until we see who Magus even is. Then I'll go over the strategies. Q picking up a green dream out of that chest. Not a bad item at all. I don't use them that much myself, but I've seen it save racers' butts a number of times. So many times. Ooh, didn't time out that first that first blade that well. They do 50 HP damage per strike, so he probably just took 200. You just want them to be traveling upwards when you pass them, so yeah. it was going down, and he did that. So maybe a little more practice for Q and for all of us. You can get this through this room pretty fast, but it normally does require a bit of waiting. I don't think it can actually kill you, though. It'll only take you down to 1 HP for all your members. And at worst case scenario, that's what happens, and you just heal up and move on. So on Q screen, here's the first real example of being able to skip through Magus Castle. They give you all these little ladder drops and stuff so you can avoid that green guy, but all you have to do is just stop running. And here's another major time-saving skip. If you memorize where all the holes are in Ozzy's floor here, yeah, you don't fall once, and you can just skip through the whole room. It's embarrassing for any speedrunner to not get that, but it happens. And to be honest, in Jets, if you fall through once, it's not the worst thing in the world because there's chests down there and there's a magic tab and you don't know what those chests have. Because it's a randomizer, they could be really nice gear. So falling once could actually be, kind of a happy accident. Yeah, they are pretty nice chests. They're not the worst chests in the game, put it that way. I don't know if they're the highest tier, but they're definitely high tier. And that's usually what happens to me. There is a way to actually walk past those outlaws. You just have to walk past them, basically, but that is one way to skip a number of things on this screen. And then for this outlaw coming up, next one up here, what you want to do is not what Q did. You don't want to just run into him. The other two you can walk past if you're careful. This third one here, you get close to him, turn your back to him, start walking away, and he'll just move down, kind of, and then you run past him after. Watch some VODs of some speedruns, or see right there, if Robo had walked up, all you have to do is press up and not run. You can just walk right past the outlaw. That you might sometimes want to kill the outlaws because they're dropping lapises. That could be why Q's doing this, I don't know, but you can actually skip everything on that screen if you practice. So I'm not sure if you can actually run from these fights. This might be you're locked in for a gauntlet. And that, again, is looking at Q's screen. We'll probably go back to Azure in a second here. He's just playing catch-up a little bit right now. He's got that green dream. Okay, he's going to go through this blade gauntlet, doing it the correct way, avoiding the blade damage. It just slows you down. It's not going to kill your run, but... Oh, I didn't even notice a silver stud drop from that chest. That's nice. Ooh, he does hit the last blade twice. That's 100 damage to each player on his team, but he did get through there faster than Q. He could be making up time, and we might see if Azur's a little bit more familiar with the skips on these staircase screens. Ooh, unfortunate encounter there on Azur's screen. He moved forward like 1 pixel too many there. But of course, Flare is OP. No big deal. Alright, here comes the floor screen. Azur's just running through it. Oh, he's got a bit of a different route than I've seen. Yeah, he falls through a hole. But he's going to get those chests, and we're going to be able to see what's in them. But to be honest, you get something like a dash ring and a speed tab or something like that, this could actually be worth your time. And Q's on that classic 4 juggler fight won't be a problem at all because of that flare. I think they have 1000 HP each, and they are susceptible to magic attacks when they spawn. But as soon as you hit them with one magic attack, they switch to physical. If you can do over 1000 damage to them, they just drop. Yeah, Amulet's a good pickup, actually. That's 50,000 gold that you don't have to spend. And yeah, there we go. See, 1 drop's not bad. One floor drop. Although it did probably put you a little bit in the lead here. Looks like Azur's setting up for skips because he went in and out of that door. See, it's easy. Just walk past. So Azur's going to save a bunch of time here. I'm guessing he knows how to do this 3rd outlaw. See, all you have to, you get close to him, and then, yep, you turn your back, let him walk down, and then you just go past. Very nice. Walk past the outlaws, boom, he just saved a bunch of time. Now Azur's entering this final mob gauntlet, while Q is, of course, fighting Ozzy, who's always a coward. And yeah, so we're really just hitting switches instead of fighting a boss. Yeah, normally those switches do give you nice drops, so you know, if you have Ayla in your party, it can actually be worth it to like charm them, then kill them. Or no, charming them might actually kill them, but it would still give you a double drop. Picking up those 2 chests, good call, and a save. And then we're off to Magus. Oh my goodness. Time to see just how challenging this seed gets. Yeah, he's outfitting his team a little bit with looks like he's going red absorb, but yeah, he doesn't have any other options in terms of absorb. So if you're fighting Magus, I would typically give the advice, like, if you have like blue vest, red vest, black vest, you know, put one of them on each of your teammates, because Magus is going to hit you with a lot of different magic, and if you overload your team with one type of absorb, you just might get unlucky and die. But this is going to depend a lot on doing huge damage. Oh, it's Robo. So Robo has Robo must have a Shadow ultimate, or unless it's Shock, could be a Shock Lightning ultimate. Going to be the big thing at the end of this fight, but for now, what is Luminaire? Okay. But for now, we just have to get through this first phase of the fight, which is like chasing what color he changes to when you hit him, and trying to stay on track with that and not take too much damage. Physical will always hurt him, but it will also always make his color change. Now he's on Shadow. I don't think you want that. We don't have shadow. He will hit you with geyser every time, doesn't matter. Not a bad idea, just going with a mid-tonic there. So now you probably want to do one more physical attack to get him to change his color again. Ooh, and if you can hit him with the mass immune, that's great too. It's going to lower his magic defense every time you hit him. So now we have lightning damages. Not good. We don't have shock yet. So far this is a little unlucky. But as long as you can keep doing damage to him, cycling his magic and healing, you'll get through this fight eventually. We actually have Azur coming up right on the heels of Q here. But this fight could really make or break this run for both runners. Yeah, this is a Magus Castle required seed, which I think as Asnyc, Raster, Cecil, he rolls all of these, so you can blame him. Get another geyser here. Not the worst thing in the world. We're still looking for a color we can attack, so he's going to keep changing colors here. We've had lightning, we've had shadow. Basically, we just want to see fire, so we can do a flare. Oh, water. Awful. No magic learned yet from Specchio. We're still without magic. Frog still doesn't have anything except Leap Slash. That's okay. But, oh boy. Now we have Azur on the right-hand side here. He's entering the Robus fight. Robus? Magabo? Whatever you want to call him. Getting closer and closer here. Oh, this is where Azur paused, I guess. So we're just gonna have a conversation between all of us. Hello, my name is Procky. I need to pause the. No problem. Since this is an async, we do allow pausing during the run. Azur had to, as I mentioned before, I did make sure I mentioned this beforehand. Azur had to go take a quick bio right at this point in the race. It's no big deal at all. We just need to make sure that everything's fair for our viewers, because we want everything to be synced up. So I see the runners' times. I can sync up their time. So I just want to keep the race synced. So that's why it's paused right now. But we are still live. And we're literally waiting for Azur to go to the bathroom, wash his hands, do all the things you need to do so that you feel good about cleanliness. So we're still waiting. That's fine. That's fine. There's nothing wrong with waiting. I don't have any Chrono Trigger music ready, but can get some going. See here. Chrono Trigger soundtrack. Yeah. Yeah, I think if you're racing in an async, oh, okay, we have Azur is back up. I'm just gonna wait for his timer to get to the right time here. Boom. Okay, good. Then I will restart the time of the thing, and gets to the thing. You know how that goes, right? Boom. Back on track. Yeah, sometimes it's like you didn't bladder plan. You know, we'll put it that way. You wanted to sit down for 2 hours, but you drank too much water and then forgot to go pee first. You know, it happens. And so... and sometimes it's an actual emergency, but we don't have to get into that right now. What we should talk about, however, is Magus, who is Robo, and how we should name him. Agobo? Agabo! Uh-oh, I see Dipwood. We're about to see some trash talk. Agabo, Lord of Fiends. I'm really glad that Azur told me that he took a bathroom break at that point in the video, because otherwise I would have thought the video crashed. Communication goes a long way, folks. Let's see what we got going on here. A little frog flare. Yeah, we got some frog flare on Azur's side. But Kyuketsuki is just a little bit in the lead. He's through his first phase of the fight here. Although most of his team is dead. But Magus is dead too. It's over. Q advances to 12,000 BC. Now you have a chance here. This is something I forgot to do in my seed personally. Once you get through this portal here, you can go back in that portal. You can go to the end of time, learn magic. We'll see if Q is better than me at Jets. Always go with the first go mode. Absolutely. That's honestly the best advice you could take when you're racing this game. So if he... No. Oh, that's what I did. So if he went back in that portal, he would have gone to the end of time. But he does have really good tech. Technically. He has Flare, Fire 2, Leap Slash. It might be okay. He might also take the Epoch back to the time. You might be able to do that as well. I'm not sure, but... Boy, I'm interested in seeing how this goes. Oh, there goes little Janice Jr. there. Whatever, Janice. Yeah, exactly, Dipwood. It would be hard to justify maybe going to the end of time at this point in the game. with the tech that they already have. Yeah, Luca has Hypno Wave as well. So, You see, in my seed, I had Ayla as well, because I did go to Frogsboro and got Ayla. It was less of an issue for me. There was no question in my mind whether I would go to Specchio. But you could still get... Well, I mean, you could get Marl back on the team. You could get Antipo going on. There are options, you know. But apparently that's not where our racers are taking this. And neither did I. Neither should you. No, maybe you should sometimes. Antipode is a very strong spell. It can be relied on. Get your girls some speed. And use Antipode 2. Use Antipode 3. It's insane. So Azur's through his Magus fight now. He's going to get spit out in 12,000. Oh, Azur's going for magic. There you go. There you see it. So Q didn't... that could put Azur a little bit further behind, I suppose. Because, I mean, Dipwood points out a good point. Oh, no. Oh, my goodness. He's doing the thing. He's doing the thing I said. He's putting Marl on the team. He's getting Antipode. All right. Let's go. Haste is, I would say, underrated, typically. Just, I don't see a lot of people use it as much as they should, and myself included. Because you can abuse it, and it does you good. And it's a speed run, so going faster means you want haste. Makes you go faster. It's a speed run. Do it. So, anyway, having Marl and haste... I think the biggest asset and the most underrated. Yeah, it depends a lot too on their tech list, of course. I mean, you know, I've played enough seeds of this where I've had a Marl start with Life 2, Ice 2, and Haste. Her first 3 techs. It doesn't happen often. It might have only happened once to me, but if you get that, she's a god. She's a god. Oh, so they're basically... I mean, Q took his time. He went to Inhasa. I think that was Inhasa, I think. But, he took his time getting that extra speed tab there. But now Azur Kale's right behind him. He lost time for that. Also, Azur skipped... But he took magic up. What is happening? This is crazy. Either way, Q is on his way to what is normally the golem fight. We'll see what boss is actually... Ooh, he takes a unfortunate... Yeah, who hasn't done that before? I want to know. Everyone who's played this game has done that. Yeah, that's where you would normally charge the pendant. And here we go. There's the Grand Leon. We're ready to actually enter the final section of the game now. For real. Azur's still shopping a bit here, but... You know, it won't be long before we see both of them in Ocean Palace. Together, duking it out, and... Oh my goodness, we have Flea. I hate Flea. I hate Flea. She can hurt you for so much damage. And her HP is going to be so buffed here because it's Golem. Golem has like 10,000 HP. Oh my god. Oh my god. This is not good. How could this be good? That's right. You could throw up shields. Yeah, that's not a bad idea. I might try that in the future. Her? I thought. Oh, it's a heat. I don't know. There's the bra. You get the bra. I don't know. I'm a boomer, guys. I'm like 58 years old, just in case you didn't know. But I'm like at least 58. Yeah, shields maybe. I don't know. I never tried that. It is physical, right? It is physical damage. But it's such a bad spell. It will end runs for me. That stare. The stare. Oh, Azur's about to learn who's gatekeeping Ocean Palace. Unfortunate. I had to refight this, but on my second fight I don't think I got the stare once. Maybe I did once, but I got lucky. Ooh, that's nice. Fire punch, right? You just gotta dish out the damage. Yeah, I did on my first run through, but I kept playing. There we go. Q's through the flea. It's not as bad as a twin flea, a twin golem, which is possible, which I have seen, and I really shouldn't have said that out loud. But we're probably not going to see that. But it's awful. Twin fleas is even worse. Anyway. Ugh. Ooh. Let's hope no one ever gets that ever again. Ocean Palace, let's go. We have a little bit of a mob gauntlet, I guess, as you want to call it that. Few screens of mobs, small puzzle, an elevator is a actual mob gauntlet. Then we're on to twin golems. This sequence doesn't take long. It's going to take a little bit longer on the elevator just because you are forced to fight. As you can see, Q is running away from this fight. You can run away from everything in here except for the fights on the elevator. So, on a ideal team, if you had Ayla... Oh, Frog does have Frog Squad, doesn't he? Okay, never mind. So, elevator might not be that bad here. So Frog Squash and Dino Tail and Stay Falcon Hit, they all do full screen physical AoE damage, and that's what we want for elevator. That's what we want to do elevator fast. So we'll see. Yeah, I'm sure he does have Frog Squash. That was in the first 3. I would probably be looking at using that for this elevator. Just get through it quick. Sacrifice some of Frog's HP. You can do that during these next few fights. We're going to see a small grind here, probably. We don't need to grind a lot. We're already at level 27. Twin Dalton Bless. That sounds fun. Oh my god. Oh. Here we go. Here's our flare. Azur's struggling a bit on Flea, just like I did when I played this seed. I died the first time I fought Flea here. So I'm not surprised at all. This is a tough place to find Flea. Like I said, boosted HP. That's the main reason why it sucks so bad. And also Flea can hit you for a lot of HP damage, and Azur's through. Awesome. Let's go. Yeah, small grind on Q's screen. I didn't check what he's looking for here. Maybe just levels. Maybe double V-bomb. But he does have a lot of the text that you would normally like use and love and go for. But he's not missing much in terms of tech. Or are there speed tabs dropping? Thanks, chat. So I think when I played this seed myself, I actually ran through that entire section. I didn't grind, and I didn't encounter any monsters until I got to the elevator. I didn't even... I realized later on there were speed tabs dropping. Yeah, it is the Thrashers in this seed that are dropping them. Yeah, that's a new way to grind here, I guess. If you find a speed tab, you might count out how many fights till all your team members have 16 speed. Yeah, indeed. Typically, the tracking job is over by the time that's a thing. Once you get go mode, forget about it, right? Well... No kidding, right? I mean, that's a huge difference to have. He's got Marl and Luca in his party with magic unlocked. He's going to be able to dish out some antipodes. He's going to get these speed tabs too, so he's not going to be slow. Yeah, this could really be interesting final segment. Oh my goodness. I mean, they're both grinding at the same spot now. We don't know when they're going to stop. Yeah, they're both killing fast now. But... Yeah, Azur's checking his tech. He wants that ice too, obviously. He's gonna go until he gets ice too. But Kyuketsuki has maybe a different goal here, and maybe it is max speed. Especially once you get over 12 speed and you are using haste, you actually will not see a difference. 12 speed is the maximum amount of speed that haste will maximize, say. So, your turn won't go any faster with haste between speed 12 and 16. Will go faster between speed 8 and 12, but not between 12 and 16. And like 13 and 14 speed, that's what you need to interrupt any, creature in the game's first attack, basically. Aside from Lavos, will crush you every time, but if you have like 13, 14 speed, you will always have the first turn. It's something I like to go for in most of my team setups. To have at least one character that is over 13 or up to 13. Just because you can run away from anything, and you can always get the first shot into. Like, it makes, especially in somewhere like Genodome, where you have those laser turrets that will, like, hit you really fast. You have 12, 13 speed there. Oh, looks like, Azur's exiting at, like, the same time. Oh my goodness. What is going to happen? Oh my goodness, this is getting so close now. They both have the same strategy here, which is use Frog Squash and use this turret, monster flame turret thing, statue, to reduce your HP. Obviously, you want lower HP to do more damage with Frog Squash. And you also want good speed on Frog, I think, too. Even the best speed on the team, in my opinion. So you can, like, every time you get your turn, you can just easily menu straight to Frog Squash. Bap, bap, bap with your A button. But you don't want everyone at the same speed. Unless you do. Which Q does, but you know how he manages that. Anyone could get the first turn, and he's just going to have to get Frog Squash off before he gets hit. Fast menuing typically will like take care of that problem, but not always. It's like every time you're going in between characters, the enemies' timers will tick down. So if you have one character with fast speed, you get straight into their menu right away. The enemy's timers will be stuck in one place, and you can execute whatever you need to. If you have, like, all characters have the same speed, you might have to switch between them. Yeah. And every time you do, you're losing time to the enemy. He could hate you. We'll see how Q does here. Should be fine. Honestly, if you have full max speed, it's not as bad as having all at 10. Okay. Yeah, putting Robo into area bomb position, not a bad idea. I think that's what he did there. Q, that is. Putting Robo back in the center guarantees that his area bomb spell will actually hit more enemies along the way. I think there's a couple of adjustments you can make depending on the boss you're fighting, but for the most part, having Robo as your lead will ensure that his area bomb hits everything. He's just dishing out damage now. And Ezra kills so close behind him. Yeah, it's especially that last fight, the third fight on the elevator, where you face the 3 different colored scouters or whatever. If you can kill them all at the same time with physical AoE, do it. Because otherwise you have to actually hit them with either single target physicals or magic of their color. And just makes the fight take forever. It can even get dangerous too if you're not careful, so having this frog squash strategy going is perfect. Place like you can see it too on Q's screen where he's fighting those 3 different colored. It's not the same as the sticks on the elevator, but they're all different colors. If you hit them with the wrong color magic, they will counterattack, and it could be deadly. But if you're able to, hit them with that full screen physical AoE, no problem. So Q did take both of those fights. You don't have to. You can technically skip them. We'll see if Azur... Yeah, he's going for the skip here. And didn't make it on the first one, unfortunately. We'll see if he runs or if he fights. Nope, running away. He's going to gain a little bit of time on Q. He's going to go for the second skip here. Now, he was a little off on that carpet. Oh, he's resetting the skip. Just not quite. Didn't quite make it. It's a little... That's a tricky skip. It's about I would say it's a 2 to 3 part skip that you have to execute a different, maneuvers as you go through that room. It can be tricky, but the next best thing is to just run away from them. Over on Q screen, we have double Heckran, twin Heckran, if you will. I don't think that's going to be a problem with all of the magic he has now. Azur's getting ready to head into the same exact fight, and, you know, I don't think he's going to have trouble either, mostly because he has Antipote 3, and he's going to be able to really take care of this fight even faster, I think, than Q did. And Q's almost over his fight here, but again, this is Heckran, not the worst encounter, but he will have a lot of HP. Because, like, twin golems usually have 10,000 HP, so you can expect if you run into Heckran here, he's going to have a very similar amount. I don't know exactly how the calculations work. It's all on Discord. You can follow our Discord and, you know, figure that out for yourself. Not up to me. There you go. Discord link. Nice thing there is you don't get the burp. So Q's through. Azur's going to be doing some crazy higher damage. So he's going to catch up, I think. Yeah. Yeah, Azur definitely gained time there. I mean, he has been ever since the grind spot on the stairs. Azur left at the same time Q did, although he did fall behind a little bit there. But he is doing far more damage. So, it's going to be a really interesting finish. So here we go. Q's at the shell now. So he saved right before. That's good. You have to backtrack just slightly to hit that save point. I recommend everyone does that. You don't have to, though. There is actually a spot here for a menu glitch. You don't see it done that often. You don't see it talked about that often. But right on Q's screen here, right after Queen Zeal turns the screen black, you get a menu glitch opportunity. So right, boom, right there, you can menu glitch. You wouldn't do it if you saved beforehand, but you can do it if you feel confident that you will get through this shell fight without dying. You can do that menu glitch, save yourself 10-15 seconds by not going to the save point. Wow, we are seeing... I did not set this up to be a close race, by the way. Just so you know. We had about 6 people posted their video, but 4 of them were YouTube videos. And I didn't figure that out yet. And I will soon, but I chose the 2 posters who posted the Twitch VOD. So that's why we're watching these 2 people. That's the only reason. They happen to be having a very close race, and that is delightful to watch. You can't get any closer than this. And both of these teams, by the way, are great. I love both of these teams, especially if you have speed. If you have speed, these 2 teams are probably the strongest teams in the game, you know. All right, Q's through at, what, 206.40, say? He's walking into the shell here. We're just going to see... I just want to make that marker so that we check how far behind Azur is. Oh, not far at all. Oh, my goodness. He's going to walk in 28 seconds later. Whew. Whew. Okay. Oh, my This you just don't get a race better than this, folks. Oh my goodness. He's just he's going for a little more here. I'm kind of speechless. But maybe I'm just shy. Can't show my emotions. He's taking a good strat there, actually. Like, fire punching the, well, stage left arm, or whatever you want to call it. The right arm of Lavos, but it's actually the left arm. Ooh, Luca takes a hit there. Or fire tackle. Yeah, he's going to be able to take care of that arm now, I think, with that much damage. Yes. This could be Actually, I think both of them actually have pretty strong teams. You have healing. I think healing is one of the biggest things you can have here. Obviously, aside from high damage output, but healing is important because Lavos does so much damage to you, and you don't want to be relying on items for that. The best thing you might have is a Lapis or a full tonic, but obviously those both have their limitations. You're not going to have a pile of mega elixirs. If you do, go for it, but... Oh, wow. It looks like Azur's got both arms down. Hugh's got still one arm up. And that's due to that Antipode magic. The magic of Antipode. Azur's back in the lead, kind of, here, I would have to say. He's a little further ahead now, and that's due to getting that magic. He went and got magic. He put Marl back in his party. He got Antipode 3. He's using it, and it is doing far more damage than Q is able to output right now. But Azur is right on the edge here. He's about to hit Shadow Doomblaze. Now, if this Antipode 3 here hits, it could be over. This fight could be over. No, not quite. No, he's gonna heal up though. He's gonna heal up. He should be able to survive this Shadow Doomblaze and then kill him on the next turn here. Oh, they're like synced up. They're synced now. Somehow Q did a faster second phase than Azur. What is happening? This is hard as a single commentator. I'll just put it. Maybe that's why I can't see everything that's happening. But we almost have a fully synced final Lavos battle here. I can't believe it. They've been trading places for the last, 10 minutes, 15 minutes. Oh, my goodness. This could depend on a menu glitch. It could depend on menu management, too. We don't see a menu glitch on either screen. Okay. Never mind. Azur's going straight for an Antipode 3. He's going to try and take down that center bit. So he's doing 4,300 damage. That is decent. Hugh's going for a center bit too here, but he's using fire tackle. He's getting 41. You know, this could really come down to just how Lavos decides to act. He could just get saltier on one person's screen than the other. It's so random. It makes me sick. Oh my god. I feel sick. Right, more fire tackle. Now that's good too because you're not going to eat the counterattack. So we're going to see a counterattack here on Azur's screen. Yeah, we're going to hit Marl. He's going down. He's going to have to manage this now. He's going to go for a revive. He's going to go for a heal. Meanwhile, Uketsuki, he was single targeting that center. He's not going to worry about that counterattack. This could actually put him ahead in the fight. As long as he keeps outputting damage to this right bit here. And he should be able to. Yeah, Azur's got the center down first the second time through. Oh, but he's taking a death to Marl again. Now this is an interesting way to look at things. So I think high damage single target might be better in a Lavos fight than... Oh, and there we have it. The 214. That Antipode, like those Antipodes, they do a ton of damage. But wow, putting Luca together with Robo, those fire tackles, it's not as much damage. But you know, if you're able to concentrate it on that center bit, you're not going to be eating those counterattacks. I think that's what we kind of saw here. We just saw you being able to kill faster because he wasn't having to do that menu management, that reviving and that healing. He was able to just hack away, just attack. So this, that's my takeaway from this. Feel free to disagree, give your own input. I don't know. That's got to be the one thing, because wow, Azur was he was behind. He went and got magic. And getting magic pulled him into the lead like crazy. And now he's using that magic on Lavos, but using that magic on Lavos is putting him behind. So it's just an interesting thing to see and to maybe take note of as well. I don't know. Oh wow, I had both audios on the whole time. Embarrassing. I thought I had it muted. Alright, cool. Well, there we go. It's over. For watching. 1647. Get it on the 216. Thank you for helping Mian tracking. Just me and Mian today. Mian on tracking. Me with the restreaming and the commentary. That's the end of the race, folks. Thanks for watching. Tune in next Sunday, same time. And there you go. Good night.